Ever found yourself tangled in the web of a toxic individual struggling to keep your cool? It's a challenge that many of us grapple with, whether it's in our personal lives, professional spheres, or even on social media platforms. The harsh reality is that toxic people are everywhere and their negative energy can be quite draining. But wouldn't it be empowering if we could navigate these murky waters with grace and equanimity? That's where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism comes into play. Rooted in practical wisdom and inner tranquility, Stoicism can be our compass in the stormy seas of toxic relationships. It teaches us to maintain our peace amidst chaos, to stay true to our values, and to focus on what really matters. So, are you ready to arm yourself with the wisdom of the Stoics? Today we delve into 5 Stoic principles that can guide us in dealing with toxic people effectively. Let's commence this enlightening journey. First off, let's take a look at the Stoic art of controlling your thoughts. You see, Stoics believed in an extraordinary power, one that each of us possesses but seldom harnesses, the power of mind over matter. This isn't some mystical, unfathomable concept. It's a straightforward principle that our reactions, not the events themselves, determine our mood and state of mind. Imagine, for instance, you're in a meeting and a colleague makes a snide comment. You could let it ruin your day, stewing in anger or embarrassment, or you could choose to view it differently. Maybe they're having a bad day, or perhaps they're just naturally abrasive. Their words are merely sounds in the air until you give them meaning. The choice is yours. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of mental fortitude. It teaches that we should strive to remain tranquil and composed, irrespective of the external circumstances. This is a particularly powerful tool when dealing with toxic people. These individuals thrive on eliciting emotional responses. They seek to disturb your peace of mind, to make you react. But remember, you hold the reins. You control your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Let's take another example. Suppose you have a friend who is always criticizing and belittling you. It's easy to feel hurt, to let their negativity seep into your thoughts and affect your self-esteem. But what if you chose not to? What if you decided their opinion doesn't define you? You could acknowledge their words, consider if there's any constructive feedback, and then let the rest roll off like water off a duck's back. Controlling your thoughts isn't about suppressing emotions or ignoring negativity. It's about understanding that your mental state is your domain. You have the power to decide how you interpret and respond to the world around you. The Stoic art of controlling your thoughts is like a shield, protecting you from the harmful effects of toxic individuals. It empowers you to stay calm, composed, and resilient no matter what or who you encounter. By mastering our thoughts, we can remain unaffected by the negativity of toxic individuals. Moving on, we find the second principle, focusing on what you can control. A cornerstone of Stoicism, this tenet empowers us to distinguish between the things we can influence and those we can't. Picture a circle. Within it are your actions, beliefs, and desires. These are elements you can directly control, shape, and mold. Outside the circle lies everything else. Other people's actions, the past, the world at large. These are elements you can't control, no matter how much you might wish to. Now let's apply this to dealing with toxic people. It's easy to get swept up in their negativity, to let their actions dictate your feelings. But remember, their actions lie outside your circle of control. You can't change how they behave, but you can control how you react. You can choose to let their toxicity affect you, or you can choose to maintain your peace. This doesn't mean ignoring or dismissing their toxicity. It means acknowledging it, but not letting it overwhelm you. It's about focusing on your actions, your beliefs, your desires. Do you want to react with anger or with calmness? Do you want to let their negativity seep into your life? Or do you want to maintain your tranquility? Focusing on what you can control gives you power. It gives you the ability to shape your life, to choose your responses, to remain undisturbed by the storm of toxicity. Remember, you can only control your actions, not the actions of others. The third Stoic principle we'll discuss is not allowing yourself to be a doormat. This principle is crucial in dealing with toxic individuals. It's about drawing a line in the sand, setting boundaries, and standing up for oneself. Let's picture this. Imagine you're at a gathering and someone makes a snide comment about your outfit. Now, the Stoic approach isn't to let that comment slide off like water off a duck's back. Sure, you maintain your composure, but you also assertively address the situation. You might say something like, "I appreciate your perspective, but I choose my clothes because they make me feel good." This response is Stoic, not passive. It's about acknowledging the situation, maintaining control, and standing your ground. Another example could be at work. If a colleague constantly dumps their workload on you, it's easy to feel like a doormat. But remember, Stoicism isn't about enduring abuse silently. It's about addressing the issue calmly and assertively. You might say, I understand you're busy, but I also have my tasks to complete. Let's find a fair solution. These examples illustrate the importance of not being a doormat. Being stoic doesn't mean letting people walk over you. It's about setting boundaries, remaining composed, and standing up for yourself in a calm and assertive manner. Stoicism doesn't mean passivity. It's about being assertive and respectful to oneself. Our fourth principle, don't be afraid to say no. Now, let's delve into this a bit more. The power of no is often underestimated. It's a small word, but it carries immense weight. It's a boundary, a stop sign, and a declaration of self-respect, all wrapped up in 2 letters. The Stoics understood this power well. They believed in not overcommitting oneself or being swayed by others' demands. And why is that? Because saying yes to everything is not only exhausting, but it also dilutes your focus. It's like trying to fill many cups with a single jug of water. In the end, you're left with nothing for yourself. When dealing with toxic individuals, this principle becomes even more important. These individuals often have a knack for making unreasonable demands and manipulating others to get their way. In such situations, saying no can be your shield. It sets a clear boundary that you're not to be taken for granted or manipulated. Now, saying no doesn't mean you're being rude or unkind. It simply means you're prioritizing your mental health, your time, and your energy. It's about understanding your limits and respecting them. It's about standing up for yourself and not letting others dictate your life. So remember, when you're faced with someone who's draining you, don't hesitate to say no. Don't let the fear of conflict or the desire to please others sway you. Stand your ground, maintain your sanity, control your life. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Finally, we come to the 5th Stoic principle, practicing detachment. This principle is a cornerstone of Stoicism, playing a key role in maintaining inner peace, especially when dealing with toxic individuals. Now, it's crucial to understand that practicing Stoic detachment doesn't equate to being emotionless or indifferent. Far from it. Stoic detachment is about not allowing our emotions to control us. It's about understanding that our feelings are just reactions to external events, and we have the power to choose how we respond. This is not about suppressing emotions, but rather acknowledging them and then deciding not to let them dictate our actions or disturb our peace. Imagine a raging storm. Being emotionally attached is like being caught up in the storm's fury, tossed about by the wind and rain. In contrast, Stoic detachment is like observing the storm from a safe and warm shelter. You see the storm, you acknowledge its power, but you're not swept away by it. This is particularly useful when dealing with toxic people. They may try to provoke you, to stir up your emotions, to draw you into their storm. But with Stoic detachment, you can observe their attempts, acknowledge your emotions, and then choose not to engage. You maintain your peace, your control, and your dignity. In the face of toxicity, practice Stoic detachment to maintain your peace. So, to deal with toxic people, remember these 5 Stoic principles. First, control your thoughts. Remember, no one can hurt you unless you let them. Your mind is your fortress. Guard it well. Second, focus on what you can control. You can't change others, but you can change how you respond to them. Don't waste energy on what you can't control. Third, don't be a doormat. Stand your ground and don't let others walk all over you. Respect is a two-way street. Fourth, always say no when it's necessary. It's not just a word, it's a complete sentence. And finally, practice Stoic detachment. Learn to emotionally distance yourself from toxic situations and people. These principles are not just suggestions, they are your shield and sword in the battle against toxicity. Equipped with these Stoic tools, you're now better prepared to navigate the choppy waters of toxic relationships. Remember, the power is always in your hands.